educable child. Grandma cried whenever she thought about Dad, and Mom was not getting any better, so I stayed home to help. While Jiyoung and Jiyun were in school during the day, I shopped and sewed and worried. It was hard for me to keep my mind off Dad and the scene shop foreman's threats. The German clock struck 4 times. I was finishing the last sleeve of a jacket for Jiyun before starting to make dinner when I heard a soft voice calling me from the alley. Who could it be? Annie always came directly upstairs, and none of my junior high school friends knew where I lived. I put down the sleeve and went to the French window. It was Lin Lin, eye-catching in her yellow corduroy jacket. She was shivering in the freezing wind. After a false spring, the weather had turned cold again. This is a surprise, I said as I led her inside. How did you get my address? From Teacher Jang. He wanted somebody to bring you a message about a meeting at school tomorrow, and I volunteered. You haven't been to school for days. I wondered if you were sick or something. She gave me her shy smile and fidgeted with the fringe of her scarf as if expecting a reproach. I gave her a glass of hot water to warm her up. You're sewing? She said when she saw the patterns and cloth spread all over the table, the bed and the table. Uh-huh. I smiled and nodded. You can sew? Did you make all of these? Did your mom teach you how? I laughed. No one taught me. I showed her the instruction book that I had found in a bookstore. I learned it from here. I just make a paper pattern, and when it looks right, I pin it to the cloth and cut it. That's great. I tried to learn once, but I just couldn't do it. I tried so hard to make a dress, but in the end, I had to ask my mother to finish it for me. My shoulders were aching from bending over the sewing machine all day, and I swung my arms back and forth to relax them. If you had to do it, you'd learn. I meant what I'd said. If Lin Lin's family had to live on just 60 yuan a month and half their clothes had been confiscated, she would learn how to sew too. She blinked her eyes and changed the subject. Why haven't you come to school all this time? My mom's been sick. Is it serious? Yes. She has Meniere's syndrome. Sometimes she gets so dizzy that she passes out. My mother has intestinal angina. When she gets an attack, her belly hurts so much that she rolls around on her bed. Before I could answer, Ji-young walked in with Grandma following him eagerly. How was it? Did you see your dad? Grandma did not even notice our presence. Ji-young gloomily shook his head. In the reception room, they were packing apples to sell to the staff, and I asked them if I could buy some for Dad. One of them said, "Buy apples for your father? You think he's in the hospital or something?" And they all laughed. I'm never going back there. I looked at Lin Lin with embarrassment. She immediately stood up and said, "It's late. I'd better be going." I went downstairs to see her off. Neither of us spoke. "Thanks for coming." I opened the door for her. "Oh, I almost forgot. Here's your math exercise text notebook." I put the assignment sheet in it. "Don't forget the meeting tomorrow, 4 o'clock in the auditorium." My hand was still on the doorknob. Suddenly, without thinking, I said, "My dad has been detained for interrogation." I surprised myself when I said it. I had not meant to tell her, and I did not know why I had trusted her with so much after such a short time. We looked at each other for a while. Finally, she said softly, "I understand. Our house was searched too." She turned and walked away. I watched her doll-like figure retreating through the cold wind, and somehow I felt much warmer. The meeting had already begun when I arrived in the auditorium. I sat down right by the door. The leader of the school revolutionary committee, Chairman Jin, was making a speech on the current revolutionary situation. On the stage beside him were Teacher Ho, a revolutionary committee member, and to my surprise, Chang Hong. What sort of meeting was this? I looked around to see who was there. There were several Red Guard committee members and key people from the propaganda group, along with several members of the revolutionary performance team and the Mao Zedong thought study group. Bai Shan was sitting near the door, bending over the paper in his lap. What was this about the propaganda group again? I had told Chang Hong once already that I wouldn't join. No, that would not require such a formal meeting. While I was still guessing, Chairman Jin finished his summary of the steadily improving revolutionary situation. "Comrades," he said suddenly he suddenly raised the pitch of his voice. "In order to support the Cultural Revolution and promote class struggle, our school's Red Guard committee has decided to make a class education exhibition to expose the class enemy's evil, remind us of the misery of the old society, and our happiness today. This will inspire our students' revolutionary enthusiasm to further promote the Cultural Revolution in our school. Every student here today was handpicked for both academic and political excellence. You will represent all the teachers and students of our school when we celebrate the Communist Birthday Party on July 1st. Academic and political excellence? There must have been a mistake. Even though my classmates didn't know me very well, the teachers certainly knew about my family background. My personal file recorded everything. I imagine the sneers. Political excellence? A black whelp criticizing landlords? In the middle of Chang Hong's speech on behalf of the Red Guard Committee, I slipped unnoticed out of the auditorium and headed for Teacher Chang's office. In the stairway of the old office building, the stairway in the old office building was dark and narrow. At a landing, I almost bumped into someone coming down. It was Teacher Jang himself. Teacher Jang, I stammered, caught unprepared. I was coming to see you. Oh, is there something I can help you with? Would you like to come to my office? That's all right, it won't take long. I swallowed hard and calmed down a little. I was told to attend the meeting about the exhibition. Did you know that? I started cautiously. I was the one who suggested your name. Did you go? How was it? He asked lightly. Oh, the meeting was fine, but I struggled to find the appropriate words. But I'm not really a leader, am I? I shook my head slightly and tried to smile. He didn't answer my question. I was told you were in the Children's Army Arts Troupe. Is that true? Um, your Mandarin is excellent, and you won several speech contests. Is that right? Well, that was in primary school a long time ago. How did you know? I felt like he was cornering me. I think you're the perfect one to represent our class as a guide at the exhibition. Oh, no, no, I blurted out. My own grandfather was a landlord. How could I condemn the evil landlords of the old society? What if Yinlan Lan or Du Hai saw me? Teacher Zhang, I'm sure there's someone in our class who can do a better job. You better find someone else. I've thought it over. I think you're the best one. Jiang Juli, this is an important political assignment. I hope you will accept it and try to win honor for our class, all right?